What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 149 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, it's the birth year of Sima Fang. I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is Rick.
Hello, everybody.
Listen. With these weird numbers that are around the 100 mark, sometimes the only fact I can find is it's the birth year of this person. Fortunately, there's a lot of people from the Three Kingdoms era being born around this time, so at least I know who they are.
Fair enough.
We're continuing our semi-theme for the month. We're looking at a bunch of old school intros and having a bit of a trip down memory lane. But before we get into that, those of you familiar with the show know we like to talk about our weeks and the goings on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
We'll start with the least related to things that we do, but something that we probably use all the time. WordPad, the venerable halfway house between MS Word and Notepad, is going away. It will be unavailable to be installed from the next Windows update. It won't be auto-installed as of that, and after that, eventually it'll be removed outright, which is a bit of a pain because you can format things a little bit nicer in that than you can in Notepad.
Here's the thing, Rick. I don't give a fuck about this story because 1, I don't use Word. 2, I don't use WordPad. I use either OpenOffice because it's Word but free, or I use the Notepad for pretty much my notes for this show, in fact.
Yeah, I use Notepad for almost everything because it's very easy to open. Now we get into game news. Logan Paul is offering refunds for his NFT game, and this is a little bit overdue because it was basically a scam to begin with. He was just trying to tart it up as not, and he's trying to save face.
Here's the thing, man. The only nice thing I can say about Logan Paul is, and it still annoys me, he's actually really competent as far as being a wrestler goes. However, in every other aspect of his life and career, he is the most obvious scam artist in the world.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Every single product he's released has been a scam. Every single one. The biggest one being that Prime... I think he was involved in Prime with that KSI fella, right?
I think people know about it because of Logan Paul. It's like 3 times as expensive as the normal energy drink, and apparently it doesn't even taste that good. I'm not going to buy one to find out.
I'm also not going to buy one to find out. The only reason why it was popular is because Logan Paul's fundamental market is children, and they're very easy... once you've got them, it's very easy to be like, spend your pocket money on me, and then how's the best way to ring them for their pocket money? I know, let's make a drink that costs 50p to produce and send and dispatch and charge £2. I'm pulling numbers out my arse that aren't exact numbers, but you gotta imagine the profit margin on that is probably particularly high because it's a scam.
Yeah. Beyond that, Star Citizen.
What's this?
It's a game that's still not out, but you can still buy things in early access.
Okay.
For people who have already spent $1,000, they are offering a $40,000 microtransaction pack.
Shut the fuck, you're not serious.
This is legitimate and true.
Who's the company behind this?
I think they are their own thing, but yeah, it's garbage. Like, the game itself is essentially not even complete and barely playable, and yet this is still something that's that they're now going to be offering.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's going to be cut out the episode because that's the nature of editing, but I was just silent for about 10 seconds because it's just like, how?
Yep. $80 billion equivalent has been wiped out from the Chinese market from the gacha ban, or rather the gacha law reshuffling, which is the equivalent of 0.5% of all of China's GDP. And to put it in perspective, 2% is classed as a recession. So a quarter of a recession has happened because of this legislation change.
Okay, but at the same here's the thing. You said, you posted this in a chat we're in, Rick, and I looked at it for, well, you didn't actually post a link, you just posted that fact, which is all good, well and good. And you were like, it looks like they're probably going to repeal this, but they, as far as I'm aware, they haven't gone to steps to repeal their ban. I'm really hoping that, like, beyond hope, I'm hoping they just take this on the chin and move on. Do you know what I mean? They almost definitely won't. They almost definitely will at least modify these new laws that they're intending to implement. But I hope they take it on the chin and other countries look at it for an example. And I won't say that often about China, because China is evil in many, many ways. But in this particular one, I really do think that I hope they stick their ground and, double down on the, no, gacha is evil. We need to stomp it as if it's gambling addiction, because that's what it is.
Yeah, you talked about Capcom recently, but they're now retroactively adding DRM to old games to stop modding, and this is going back as far as a game from 2013, Resident Evil Revolutions.
Revelations, is it not?
Yeah, Revelations, yeah, I did actually type Revelations,
I was just like, I'm not familiar with that Resident Evil game. Did they release one I'm not aware of? Here's the thing, right? You and I are already we can talk at length at why anti-modding tech is a bad idea. Hopefully it's another nail in Capcom's coffin, or, you know, at least people will be like, well, that's shit, I'm not going to buy that game now, etc., etc. The actual worst thing about what they're implementing is it actively makes the games worse because the performance now stutters.
Yes, absolutely. Like, one of the best things you can do for your game is, after it's been out for, like, let's say a year, remove the DRM, because the whole point of having it for the first, like, month or two is to make it harder to crack. So people that want it on day one will just buy it. People that want it after a year, well, they can probably pick it up in a sale, and then after that, you know, yeah, just get rid of it. It just makes everything worse, and everybody knows it, and they try to tart it up as if it doesn't, but it does.
It's really fucking irritating me, because it's irritated me since I told the story about 3 months ago now, where they were like the dinosaurs have come out of their fucking closets.
Yeah.
And it's just this all stems from they're seeing people mod their games and add things to the games, and these old dinosaurs who don't understand how games work despite being in the fucking industry fucking are like, oh, they're getting that content for free, but we can monetize this content that we didn't make and weren't going to make because not many people would buy it and it would take more man hours than it's worth.
Yeah, we could have been charging for this. Let's get into things that are not game related for a bit. Now that 2023 is over, it's been officially declared as the hottest year on record. This is something that we kind of knew already, but now that it's over, they can draw a line under it and say that it was true, including December.
Well, it's one of those weird ones, isn't it? Because I actually saw a Tumblr post not too long ago of how dystopian... it doesn't really apply to you and I, Rick, because when we were kids, we still regularly had snow in December. But a lot of, I say kids, 13 to 18-year-olds are having this weird disassociation with Christmas music, talking about this wonderful time of the year where it's snowing and it's white and it's like a magical paradise for a month, which they've never experienced.
No, like, all we got was fucking wind.
But you know what I mean? It's interesting looking at their perspective, because, you know, we're not old men, but we are by kids' standards.
I think I've had one technical white Christmas in my entire life, my entire life on this earth, and even then it wasn't really a white Christmas. It was a little bit frosty.
Oh, I've never had a white Christmas, but we've had snow in December is the key point.
Oh yes,
but down south it's the snowy season's always been January.
Yeah, it's January, February. There has been an Alex Jones game, which I forgot to mention during the games part.
Oh jeez, I need to actually ask a question, because I can't tell. Is this legitimately released by someone on his team, or is it a really good parody? Because they've made the company name his news company name, and I generally don't know if someone's going all in on the bit or if it's legitimately an attempt to cash in on his fans, or what the fuck's going on.
Okay, so I think it's a way for him to make money without declaring that he's made money.
Yeah, okay, this is what I feared.
Yeah, the amount of money that he's been sued for and is going bankrupt for, and it's very much using his likeness, very much using his company name. It might even use his voice clips. I've not even looked at gameplay of it, but it
I clicked on the link that you sent me, Rick, and in the trailer they've got Alex Jones live in his little fucking studio setup, so this is what made me think that, oh, actually this is legitimately connected to him. And the annoying thing is the bits of gameplay actually look relatively decent. It's just, I refuse to pay for something when I know the money is going to that fuckwit.
Yep, and it launched at a launch price of $17.76.
In English?
Well, 1776 is the birth year of America. That's the day the Declaration of Independence was signed.
Oh, okay.
Don't care what the English price is. The game looks competent, apart from the absolutely repugnant amount of neo-Nazism involved with being a Republican these days.
That being said, I did look at some of the reviews, Rick, and a lot of the reviews are negative, not because the gameplay's bad. Apparently the game plays competently enough, which again is annoying to hear, but because the game lasts about a total of half hour.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes at most.
It looks like a very good Newgrounds game.
Yes, but not a $20 game.
I mean, again, it could be $5. I'd refuse to fucking throw money at this cretin.
Yeah, it could be 96p and I still wouldn't buy it. Last bit of news. There was a George Carlin AI special put out recently.
Here's the thing, right, is I saw the tweet about this, and I agree fully that while I'm not the biggest fan of George Carlin's comedy, because while it's poignant and I find his way of expressing things amusing, he never makes me laugh.
Fair.
That being said, I agree agree entirely with the tweet that George Carlin would probably be rolling in his grave.
His daughter has put out a statement that, yes, he was beloved, but he's no longer walking this earth. Mind like that will never walk this earth again. If you want new comedy, there are new comics. Give them a chance. Don't do this.
Yeah, sure. Like, there's not much for me to say. Like, I applaud AI as a tool to help people.
Yes.
I do not applaud AI being used to, well, basically bring back the dead, for lack of a better term, and stealing other people's hard work. Those are big no-nos.
The Pokemon finale is out. It's maybe an hour or so of gameplay. It's cute to see these characters again.
I've not played it yet.
Okay. Penny is the standout character in my opinion. We'll talk about it when you played it. Last thing is, we saw Wonka. It was, I think it was rather competent. It was very much a prequel to the Gene Wilder film rather than the Johnny Depp one. It used cues from the original song, sometimes just outright lifting the original song and just changing a couple of things to be more relevant to the scene. He even uses Gene Wilder's original coat, and the building that the chocolate factory becomes ends up a very faithful recreation of the original set.
Fair enough. I have no interest in trying to milk nostalgia, and I've got to be honest with you, from the trailers it looked rather soulless.
Yeah, parts of it I wasn't a fan of, but overall I left with a generally positive impression.
Here's the thing, Rick. I appreciate different folk will have different takeaways here, but I think one of the magic of the original Willy Wonka is they don't tell you how Willy Wonka became Willy Wonka. You can fill in the gaps with whatever crazy over-the-top nonsense you want to think.
Yeah, to a degree.
I don't want to know how Willy Wonka became Willy Wonka, because that will break the magic in my mind. And yes, that is a weird thing for a 30-year-old guy to say. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, that's enough from me. I've waffled for longer than I normally do. How about you? How's your week been? What have you seen out in the wide world?
My week's been a bit lackluster. I've done a lot of things that I've just been continuing doing. The one thing I will bring up is I've been playing a lot of Midnight Suns.
Yeah, okay.
Mentioned it last week, and someone told me on the interwebs that the DLC is super worth getting. And I was like, it's still on sale for £15 instead of £35. I went, fuck it, let's go in on the DLC.
Yeah. And has it been good?
It's been interesting.
Okay.
The DLC gives you access to 4 DLC characters, and they're all winners in my opinion. There's one standout one that seemed a bit weak, but once I recruited them, I was like, okay, fuck it, you've won me over. So, the 4 DLC characters are Deadpool. Makes perfect sense to make him a DLC character. He is a fan favourite.
Yes, and he will sell the DLC to people.
He absolutely will. Next up, we've got Venom.
Yep, also another fan favourite who will sell the DLC to people.
Venom is already in the game as a villain.
Okay.
So it's I was like, how the fuck are they going to make this work? And I'll tell you how they make it work a bit later. Another character they add, which is probably the weakest on paper, but as soon as I recruited them, I changed my fucking mind. Morbius.
Alright.
And last but not least, probably the only X-Man that you could put in that's not Wolverine, and it's Storm.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 DLC characters. They do this annoying thing that DLC sometimes does, Rick, which is I bought the DLC and I didn't have access to DLC missions. I kept Googling, how do I access it? Beat this mission. I've beaten that mission. Have I been fucked over? Because I bought the season pass, I have to go to the store and buy all of the individual DLC, except now it's priced as free, which is dumb.
Yes.
But yeah, they all have their unique little gimmicks. I won't go into detail on that. If you've not played the game, you won't really get it anyway.
Okay.
They all play fun. They're all amusing. Whenever we're at the Abbey, which is the hub world, they have amusing dialogue. I give Deadpool a lot of free reign a lot of his humour. If it wasn't Deadpool, I'd be cringing and being like, oh, go away. But because it's Deadpool, he gets a pass. But yeah, let's talk about Venom.
Yeah, let's shall.
You do his recruitment mission. He's blood drunk from eating vampires. Oh, by the way, the DLC adds vampires as enemies, and this is a new enemy type, and this is what the side story deals with, and they're the most frustrating thing in the fucking game.
Okay.
If they attack you, they inflict bleed on random, or they have the chance to inflict bleed on random cards you draw. If you play that card, you give yourself bleed, which isn't the worst debuff in the world. However, if you get inflicted with bleed, random mook minions that go down in one hit have a chance to evolve into regular enemies that have 100 health, which fucking is very annoying.
Yeah.
At the end of Venom's recruitment mission, you get a cutscene where the main player character that you edit is just like, we should kill this creature because he's blood drunk and we can't save him, and Spider-Man's like, please don't, I kind of like Eddie.
Fair.
And then fucking Mephisto shows up and offers a deal, and And that deal is he will purge Venom of his blood-drunk state, and basically, this is how you recruit him, he'll be your ally. In return, you have to destroy the vampire menace. And Spider-Man's like, we're doing that anyway, we should take this deal. And the main character dude is like, I know how demons work, and even though this sounds like a good deal, probably shouldn't take it. Because it's a video game, you have to take it, and it's probably not that big of a deal. However, when you walk away, Mephisto goes, I'll see you later, Peter Parker, and then fucks off. And Peter Parker's he's Spider-Man, he's just like, how does he know my name? And I'm like, oh fuck, they're referencing one of the worst stories ever in the comic books. Anyway, the DLC characters are fun. They are all fun. I weirdly, the least fun DLC character to actually play is Deadpool.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't like his gimmick. Everyone should buy Midnight Suns and play that game. I really am annoyed that I slept on this. It's so fun. Rick, you ready for some news?
Let's go.
SAG-AFTRA fucks over voice actors.
Yeah, they did. I forgot to put this in my notes because I thought we talked about it last week, but it didn't happen until this week.
Yeah, so one of the big sticking points of the SAG-AFTRA strike is they don't want actors to have to sign away their likeness to AI, to let AI use their likeness, which I think is totally fair. However, they don't seem to give a fuck when it comes to the voice acting side of things, because they signed away this new deal to give themselves these bunch of protections, but it doesn't apply to voice lines and voice actors. It's basically like, it does stipulate that they have to be willing to sign away their basically the rights to their voice, but let's be honest here. If there are two people competing for a job and one says, I'm not letting you just have my voice forever, and one says they will, which one's gonna get hired?
Yeah.
Actually, fuck you. Like, you're a union. You're supposed to represent fucking everyone in your union. Yeah, there's gonna be bits where some people don't fully agree, but this is one of the fundamental fighting points you had for your strike, you fucks.
Yeah, they've really thrown that subsection under the bus.
It bothers me a lot, because I'm very pro-union, because of course I am, I'm fucking working class at best. But, it really bothers me when you see a union throw a subsection of their union under the bus.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Rick, fuck me, the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League looks like a fucking hot mess. I don't know if you've seen it, but someone shared screenshots and a bit of footage of the fucking user interface, and it's just, it looks awful. I'm not an expert on this style of game, but it's really hard to make out what's what.
Yeah, I was hoping it was going to be good. I think those hopes might have been dashed.
Hey, Rick, do you know what my favourite thing about Poison Ivy is?
The fact that she has a very obvious MO of killing greedy men.
Oh, no, my favourite thing is the fact that her weapon of choice is the fire axe that does ice damage.
Ha!
So, yeah, that's another thing that got leaked. Is it's Poison Ivy's axe that does ice damage, because that's what Poison Ivy is known for. I'm not saying you have to be perfect to the comic books, but there's ice guys in DC.
Yeah.
There's like 10. Mr. Freeze, Killer Frost, fucking Captain Cold. That's 3 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
This game wasn't on my radar anyway. I knew it was coming out at some point, but I was like, it doesn't sound like my thing, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't invested in this. But we'll see. I've been wrong before. Maybe it'll come out and it'll work out all the bugs.
Yeah. Hoping that it's good still, but yeah, it's that hope is very much on a shorter fuse than it was before.
I hope it's good for the sake of people who are looking forward to it.
True.
All right, Rick, what are we doing today?
Today we're doing a 1960s and 70s cartoon intros. It's by 60s Child on YouTube. If you'd like to join along with us at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
You know what? The thing I'm looking forward to most is we know these intros are going to be a lot simpler.
Yep.
That's just Corky, isn't it?
Well, I think Felix was first, but yeah.
No, he fucking wasn't. Corky came out in the 20s.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, this isn't even animated, it's just his face. Oh no, it is animated now.
There we go. Yeah, haven't you got egg on your face?
But yeah, it's thoroughly all over my face. 1 egg each for each eye, and bacon for my mouth.
Fuck me, this intro's way longer than it needed to be.
It was, yeah.
Sounds like Popeye. Oh, it is Popeye.
Popeye.
I had an aunt I met once, and the only thing I remember about her is she did an excellent fucking impression of Popeye blowing his pipe, and that's it. The fuck is this?
It's like pre-Free Willy, but for a dolphin or something.
Oh, Japan, it's anime. Japan
I should
cartoons.
have realised that from the human boy.
Finn the human boy. Frank the human boy. I have approximate
Frank, the
knowledge of
human
many
child.
things.
Yeah. This is like Anime Stingray.
I don't know.
Marine Boy.
Marine Boy. Fuck me. Can't use Aqualad, I suppose.
No. He might not have even been created in the 60s.
I don't know, man. Like, a lot of these comic book folk are older than you think they are. Well, they're gonna fuck.
Yeah, they are. The sensual mermaid.
I'll save you from this
Oh, he's
angry
white
fish.
knighting for the mermaid.
Oh, classic this.
Like the classic.
He's about to hit a chestnut tree. That might be one of my favourite fucking Simpsons opens.
Yeah, it's one of the better ones, ain't it?
As we know, the Flintstones are a great influencing factor on Cole Pilkington's knowledge of history.
Yep. Because how else would they have footage of it if it didn't happen?
It's like, you know, they had dinosaurs as like pets and dogs, and it's like, he's been watching the Flintstones. Hey, Bam Bam and Pebbles.
Yeah.
Oh, we get a second Flintstones
Oh, we get the
intro.
finale as well. Yeah, there's Flintstones going to bed.
Bronto burgers and... listen, if you could eat a dinosaur, would you?
Probably.
The size of them ribs.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's a good fucking visual gag.
It is. Yeah.
Alright, listen, let's put this to bed, Rick. Wilma or Betty? One's a redhead. I'm surprised you have to think.
Yeah, I do. I probably would actually go with Betty, simply because I'm not a fan of dot eyes.
I'm just going to borrow a joke from Red Dwarf, where it's like, would you go with Betty? Hey, see, I'd go with Betty, but I'd be thinking of Wilma. Spider-Man takes a shit in a coffee can. I try to forget where that's from.
Yeah, I've seen this more as memes than the actual opening.
That's fair. The Ramones did a fucking version of this theme tune, by the way. Fucking excellent
okay.
song. It sounds a lot better when the Ramones do it, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this show was just meme to fuck, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never watched this version of the cartoon. Oh, shit, that's in the intro!
Yeah. Just one of the meme faces where he's taking the photo.
Can I just say, like, when he jumps off things, he looks very, very realistically human, the way his body moves. By the way, Mr. Ben, classic.
Yeah. It is, yeah. Guy goes to a suit shop and becomes that profession for the day.
I am become deaf.
Yeah, he puts on the edgelord cloak. Oh, apparently caveman is a profession.
Well, you know. I was well jealous of Mr. Ben as a kid, and I can't tell you exactly why.
I think it's because he got to experience all these little walks of life.
Sorry, this is Scooby-Doo, right? Yeah!
Yes,
Classic
real
theme and
Scooby.
everything. I love Scooby-Doo.
Right on the cusp. Like, this is 60s and 70s, and the first one was 1969, apparently.
Yeah. Like, do you think when they made this that there would be so much porn of Velma and Daphne?
Maybe not.
Like,
it's one of those things. Like, back in those days, I don't think they even realised that people could draw their thing.
That's fair. I do know that in the 90s, I can't remember when it came out. Do you remember Jake Long, American Dragon?
Yeah.
So what
I didn't watch a lot of it, but yeah.
What Disney did is the creator, they took him into a room after they greenlit a show, and they took the designs of the main villain girl and the mother of Jake Long, and they sat the creator down and said, the internet will draw pornography of these characters. They had to brief him on the fact that you have to be prepared that you're going to see some shit. This is what happened to Kim Possible.
Yes.
What the fuck is this?
I think it's the opposite of the regular Pink Panther, isn't it?
Oh, it's Pink Panther. I don't remember this having a live-action intro.
Yeah, I forgot about this. But now that I'm seeing it, yeah. A panther that is positively pink.
Obviously, the only Pink Panther music I know is the
Yeah. So this is basically the opposite of the movies where it would be the da-da. Oh yeah, this.
Yeah, this is what I remember.
This is the real Pink Panther, in my opinion.
Slink Pink sounds like a sex move.
It does a bit.
Hey, Henry Mancini, fucking good job. Fuck me, what was this? This was based on a sitcom or some sort of American show.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what, because it's when I used to watch Top Cat, it's all my dad would tell me as always that fact.
A bit like me whenever I bust out with something.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can count the seconds until I'll just, bust out the same fact each time.
Actual bastard.
Yep.
Basically an American Del Boy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Top Cat had such good intros they gave us two. I suppose this is the outro, like you said, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the outro, yeah. Yeah, some of these are outros.
There we go.
Yeah, and just like... oh yeah, and that's the police-only phone that he still uses all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
It always bugged me that he only did one side of his teeth.
It's a cat, who gives a fuck, man? Man, I will say, Hanna-Barbera were just the fucking kings of cartoons back in the day, weren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck me, it's the Globetrotters! I didn't know they had a cartoon!
I may have seen it once when I was little.
Look, dude, I only know about the Harlem Globetrotters, because of Futurama.
Yeah, in that episode where they actually they wrote an actual new piece of mathematical theory for that episode.
No, that's a different one. The one you're thinking of is when they kept replacing bodies.
Oh yeah, the Globetrotters is the one where they keep skipping ahead in time.
Yeah, that's the one where they had the mutant basketball players. It was very cool.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't blame you for mixing the two up, because there was a lot of quote-unquote science shit going on in that episode. It was just gobbledygook.
Yeah, and in that one, the Harlem Globetrotters were like the preeminent scientists of the universe.
Yeah. You're that so-and-so? As if there's another. Not much, just more theme tunes,
Yeah.
The
Hello.
fuck? Oh, it's the Jackson 5. They had a cartoon?
Apparently so.
Well, some of those designs when they transitioned into cartoon were winners, and some of them they got butchered.
Yeah, some of them just got really racist. Hey, wacky racist.
I don't think it was racist, it just didn't look like the person.
Yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Well, then again, maybe it was, I don't know. Wacky Races was great, fucking... Really remember this cartoon fondly.
Yeah. And we even did one as a rainy day episode.
Oh, we did. I mean, it's out. I don't think it was a rainy day episode, it was when you were in America last.
Oh, yeah. We might even get the Perils of Penelope Pitstop.
Eh?
The Perils of Penelope Pitstop was made as a spin-off from Wacky Races.
Okay, sure. I didn't actually hear what you said. That's what I was going, what?
Yeah.
Again, it still bothers me, even now, all these years, that if he didn't cheat, Dick Dastardly would win every time.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Which I suppose is the moral of the story, innit? Don't cheat, kiddos.
Yeah, especially if you have to stop to cheat, no you don't.
Fuck me. Hong Kong Phooey. Blimey.
Yeah.
We had a segment in like our third episode which got cut because it was just like, this sounds bad, so we're just not going to do it. I think the title of the episode was, you don't even know what we had to cut.
Yeah. Is Hong Kong Phooey racist?
Yes.
Well, they didn't think it was in the 60s.
It's racist because the guy singing, I believe, is black.
Yeah. And
he's putting on an Asian voice. Just because it's against Asians doesn't magically make it non-racist.
Yeah. I think the idea was, if they make it one minority singing about a different minority, then it's not a white person punching down, so it's okay.
No, but it's the 60s/70s. They didn't give a fuck. That's actually what the answer is.
Yeah, that too.
The fuck is this?
Bod? Bod in the apple? What the fuck?
What the fuck? He's got like mega cancer in his head.
Oh, I thought he was a bird. And then he came closer and he isn't.
Was that the old intro? Or are
Apparently.
Are we still on Bod? I can't tell.
Apparently a town is full of buildings.
Yeah. What are we watching?
Oh, that was a road. I thought it was a river. Cars going down the river.
Well, this is definitely an English cartoon, at least. Well, I don't think the States had buses like
that. Maybe, actually. But yeah, it's very definitely a London bus, but I think they actually did have the ones with like the open back that you could just step onto.
Rick, I'm really bothered because we're far into this intro and I still don't know what they're showing us. They're saying...
No, this looks like it looks like an infomercial for, like, existing.
They're saying lorries, so it must be British, right? Because they say trucks in America.
Yeah. Do you live in... being asked if I live in a town as
part
of the opening.
What are we watching? Here comes Mongo.
Fuck's sake. It was just Mary, Mongo, and Midge.
Oh, never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo.
Candygram from Mongo.
Yeah, alright. Sure. Whatever. We ended on Rhubarb, a fucking cartoon about a Labrador.
Yeah, wasn't it originally Rhubarb and Custard?
It wasn't Rhubarb, it was Rhubart.
Oh, Rhubart.
It was Robert, but spelt wrong. Rick, what did you think?
Like, some of them were very nostalgic. Some of them were mind-numbingly idiot.
That's fair.
How about you? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I didn't have as much fun with this one as we did with perhaps the other videos we've done this month, but it was okay. There was enough times where I went, oh yeah, I love this thing, but it was punctuated with a lot of, the fuck is this shit?
Yep. Like, I remember a lot of these just from being rerun on, like, BBC One or BBC Two in the mornings when I was a kid. I think they essentially ran out of ideas and just ran things from the 60s, 70s.
I mean, why not, eh?
Yeah, like, I'm kind of astounded that the Smurfs didn't show up, but maybe they didn't get a cartoon till the 80s.
Yeah, but they also weren't in our 80s compilation, which, granted, you guys watching, spoiler, that's what we're doing next week.
Yeah, the Smurfs and the Snorks.
But yeah, let's do our usual wind down, shall we? Do you have a favourite moment?
I think it was when we realised that Popeye was about to happen. And that was the first one that we properly recognised immediately before we even got to the actual reveal, as it were.
Well, a sign of a good video, because that was literally the second clip.
Yeah. But yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
My favourite moment was the outro to the Flintstones, because it was just a fun time. I really liked the visual gag of the giant rib knocking over the car. The giant rib, by the way, that looked like Fred was determined to eat on his own while his family watched.
Yeah, he went to the drive-thru, only got something for himself, and props to the drive-thru lady for being able to carry it no problem, despite being like an eighth of the thickness of the serving of ribs.
And let's not beat around the bush. That set of ribs could have fed the whole family and then some, but no, Fred was a greedy bastard.
Yep.
But yes, Rick, let's not only talk about the good, let's also talk about the bad. Do you have a weakest link?
That second to last one, that fucking Margie, Mungo, and Midge. Like, it took so long for nothing to happen.
I think I asked like 5 times, what are we watching?
Like, just being told things about cities and then being asked, do you live at... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't even know what that show is. I don't care. I actively want it not to exist. How about you?
I mean, seeing as you took that moment, I'll take the one just before it of Bod and the apple, because
yeah,
it wasn't a very... didn't tell me fuck all. There's a guy called Bod who looks like he's got super cancer in the head because it's swollen, and and he had an apple. That's it. I know kids are easy to entertain, but fuck me, try a bit.
Yeah, he looked like a slightly grown-up Caillou. And until he got close, and it was obvious that was his head and his collar, I thought he was just a bird. It was not well animated until it got close.
When it was super zoomed out, I generally thought it was going to be a germ or something.
I am a germ.
But yeah, let's end on a highlight, Rick. We can't really do MVPs because there's no standout person, so to speak. So instead, out of the intros for cartoons that you watched today, which was your favourite cartoon that you remember fondly?
I'm going to go with the Flintstones, simply because there is more of the Flintstones to pick from. You've got more chance of getting a good episode.
I mean, the Flintstones still goes on to this day, in the sense that they regularly release specials for both the Flintstones and the Jetsons and Scooby-fucking-Doo, which are just crossovers with WWE.
And I know that the Flintstones used to have the longest unbroken record of cartoons being aired, which was then taken by The Simpsons after about 138 episodes or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What was your favourite tune from the intros and outros that we saw?
Yeah, it's not going to be a shocker. I said it during the episode, and I'll say it loads and loads of times. It's Wacky Races. I love Wacky Races. It's a dumb cartoon. I love it. It had one good video game and one video game.
And Dick Dastardly is one of the iconic cartoon villains of all time.
So much so that he's had... If they need a villain for a Hanna-Barbera thing and they don't already have a villain, sometimes Dick Dastardly will just show up.
Yeah, like the 3D CG Scoob movie. It was just Dick Dastardly.
He also got... The spin-off of Catch the Pigeon is also good. Fuck anyone who says otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, that does it for today. Thanks for joining us as always. Hopefully you'll join us again next week where, well, we won't beat around the bush. We said it already. Rick's fucking off to Australia, so for the next month you're going to be getting pre-recorded episodes. You're still going to get your episodes. You're still going to get your fun little podcasts. And hopefully you enjoy them as much as we did making them. And yeah, so you can talk to us down in the bottom in the comment section. You can make suggestions. Obviously we won't be able to take them on board for a month, but you can still make them. Alternatively, if you're not watching on YouTube, you can instead send us an email at
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
Thanks for watching / listening this far, guys. You're beautiful people. We'll see you in a month.
Bye!